Hi, I'm Barnabas, and if that title made your self-conscious thoughts start spiraling, you're definitely in the right place. On this channel, I aim to give fashion advice to those who want to dress more alternatively or just have an overall darker aesthetic. If that's you and you asked yourself before if your style has ever scared anyone, and I'm sure you have, then watch till the end. I'm going to tell you why it has. If that's not what you're going for, then I'm going to give you a few alternatives that won't completely sacrifice the dark vibe of your outfit. Of course, at the end of the day, dress however you want, but if this video helps anybody at all, then I think that's a success. With all that out of the way, let me get into the video and I hope you enjoy. So often in movies and other visual media, they want it to be somewhat obvious who the bad guy is, or the antagonist. And you don't have to be paying super close attention to realize that there's a visible pattern of color choice and character design. Most of the classic Disney villains actually use the colors black, red, and purple, or even all three. If you watched my last video, I went into color theory and how colors can trigger different things once our brain sees them. So to go over that very quickly, black is intimidating, red is associated with very strong feelings like aggression and passion. Purple is just a really weird color. It can be otherworldly, but also regal. In the classic Disney villains case, it seems like they're using this color for these characters because they want to show some type of status, they want to show off their position, or to show that this character is vain in some way. With so much popular media using these same design cues and design philosophy, we very well may be mentally conditioned to have a very specific image in our minds when it comes to thinking of what a villain would look like. I think that definitely bleeds into how we look at fashion and how people dress themselves, even in the design process of a lot of fashion brands. You're not dressing attractive. So something you should really look out for when having a darker aesthetic or just dressing in a more unconventional way. In this case, dressing in a very unconventional and niche way, but expecting mass appeal, understanding, and acceptance. For example, let's say you're a guy and you love The Cure and Robert Smith. If you want to simulate his look with his crazy hair, his dark eyeliner, and his red lipstick, and you're just this common everyday guy, you should be very self-aware that there is a very unique and unusual look. Most people are just not going to understand, and they might even think it's a little weird. This, along with breaking any other gender norms in clothing, like with what I'm wearing right now. Yeah, that. I know I might look a certain way to a lot of people, if not most people, but I wear whatever I want anyway, even if it's something like this. With being secure within yourself, it really helps to be self-aware also. Following trends that just don't suit your body type. If you're following a trend that just does not look good on you, you're gonna feel it. But if you're wearing something that you know looks good on you and happens to not be a trend right now, or maybe it's an old trend that died out, you're just gonna feel a lot better. If you look good, you feel good. But doing way too much to stand out. But while standing out by itself isn't really a problem, and it's probably not going to hurt anything in the long run, I think taking this way too far can be harmful. If you have a very exaggerated look, you should also expect polarizing reactions from people. Because if something's super exaggerated and it's towards one part of a spectrum, people are just a lot more likely to either love or hate what you're wearing. It is something to keep in mind, because mostly this video is for people who don't know they're scaring people, or could be looking for reasons why they could be putting people off. But these are the reasons. Another one that I think is really dangerous if you get lost in is overcompensation with your clothes. Your clothing shouldn't be the best thing about you, and you really mentally shouldn't even think that about yourself either. Because if you think like that, then what? I was about to say what happens when the clothes come off. No, your clothing shouldn't be the only thing going for you. If you're really into fashion as a hobby, I think that's awesome. Obviously, I am too. But that doesn't have to be your only hobby or only interest. Your clothing is just one of the many aspects of yourself. And it's definitely not fair to limit yourself in this way. Here's something that I fell into: wearing things that just really don't look good on anybody. And it's those same brands that, how do I say this? It's these very gimmicky brands that target a certain subculture. So if you type in gothic clothing or punk clothing and those specialized shops that show up, I really don't think you should shop there at all. Most of the time, it's just going to be a caricature of the whatever subculture it is that you're looking for. And then if you wear these clothes, you're kind of gonna look funny, both to the people that might fit in that subculture, like actually, and to normal people too.
You can have your favorite shops, but
Try not to limit yourself in where you can shop. I'm willing to bet that if you are creative enough, then you can shop at places like American Eagle and Abercrombie and Fitch and still come out with a darker aesthetic that looks good. So this one is more for people who are looking for a different style but just don't know where to go to branch out. If you're someone who doesn't know what to wear for a darker, edgier style, and you wear mostly Hot Topic graphic tees, you wore those since high school and you still wear them and you just don't know how else to dress. If you're looking for a more subdued look but maybe in something that could be seen as an evolution of the style, you can still shop at Hot Topic, but maybe try to stay away from the graphic tees that have way too many colors on the print. Try to opt for the simpler prints with less colors and maybe a smaller and more tasteful design. Or you can just opt for a blank tee and get rid of the graphic altogether. And then you can just pair that shirt with whatever jacket of your choice. And the jacket, I think, can be a little bit loud still. Since the t-shirt has a lot less going on for it, I think it's just going to look a lot cleaner. It's going to look a lot more put together. So there's nothing wrong with graphics, especially if you have more of a streetwear style or if you're a younger person. But if you're going for a specific look that's smarter and has more of a mature vibe, then a lot of graphics can clash with that. Actually being and feeling attractive. Actually being and feeling unattractive. So the best thing you could do to put people off is have greasy hair, have really bad acne, and just not take care of yourself at all. Not even you will be happy with yourself. And not being happy with yourself can make you very self-conscious no matter what you wear. So please make sure that you like the person who's wearing the clothes. Because if you don't like you, then why should anybody else? True self-acceptance is such a freeing feeling. Because if you know you have an unconventional look and you're really happy about it, then screw what everybody else thinks. By that, I don't mean be super insecure and defensive if you even have the smallest suspicion that someone might not like how you dress. Instead, just be self-aware that your look could put some people off, and that's okay. Because if you genuinely love your style that much, I guarantee you there's a bunch of people out there that will also feel just as strongly about it as you do. And remember that most of feeling better about how you look comes from within. Now let's get into the part about looking scary. So I have a lot of personal experience with this part. Unnatural color eye contacts. These are going to scare a lot of people. They look super cool, yeah, if like you want to do that, go for it. But again, just be aware, that's what this is about, that it could look creepy. It's unnatural after all. Stigmatized items. People have really mixed feelings about trench coats. Context really matters here. Because if it's somebody in all business attire and then they have just a trench coat to go over the suit, nobody's going to look twice at them. But if you wear a trench coat or a longer pea coat with combat boots, cargo pants, and either face paint or a hat that like kind of obscures your face, you might notice a lot of stares. Not in an interested way, but in a let me see where the nearest exit is so I can get out of here sort of way. Again, I'm only saying these are some things that might scare some people. By no means am I telling you to change everything that you like about your style, if this is something you gravitate towards. You don't really smile too often, or you have a very stern, neutral face. This, along with dressing in this darker aesthetic, could just lead people to assume that you're kind of standoffish or possibly mean. If you're somewhere where a lot of people don't dress in that way, then your whole aura might be kind of off-putting and even intimidating. I'm not sure how I come off to you in these videos, but in person, I'm actually not as gloomy as I might seem. I remember someone actually asking, how I'm so genuinely nice and kind to everybody I talk to and how I seem so happy and full of energy. Now, they could not be more wrong about what's going on. But the point is that it wouldn't kill you just to smile and be kind to people. I mean, don't really force anything, just genuinely be kind. That's all I have for this one. I know I've definitely scared some people with how I look in the past, so I thought maybe it might help one or two people out there. Because when it hit me that I was scaring people, that wasn't even something that was on my mind. I didn't think that was possible. Again, I don't think this is for everybody. You can be completely comfortable if you have a look that you know might put one or two people off. If so, then that's awesome, and maybe this video wasn't quite meant for you. But if you are still here, then at least you were interested. And if you do want to see more content like this, then subscribe to the channel. If you liked any part of the video or think it could help you in the future, then leave it a like. And send this video to someone you know who has a pretty polarizing style that you might think. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.